Marcus, however, was not one to back down. He started documenting every detail Lily could recall, determined to make her voice heard. At the same time, he reached out to other families, hoping to piece together a fuller picture of the officer's behavior. But things took an unsettling turn when Marcus noticed a police cruiser parked near his house late at night. Was it a coincidence, or had the officer caught wind of his quiet investigation? As the tension grew, Marcus knew one thing for sure: he couldn't stop now. The more Marcus uncovered, the more dangerous things became. He discovered complaints had been filed against the officer before, but they always seemed to disappear. Witnesses recanted, paperwork got lost, and investigations never went anywhere. It was clear someone was protecting him, and Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. One evening, as Marcus drove home from a late meeting with a local community advocate, he noticed headlights following him for miles. Every turn he took, the car mirrored. His hands gripped the wheel tightly, his heart pounding. Was it just paranoia, or was someone trying to send a message? At the same time, Lotie's behavior changed even more. She was scared to go outside and flinched whenever she saw a police car. Seeing his daughter's fear fueled Marcus's determination, but it also raised the stakes. He was getting closer to exposing the truth, but at what cost? Just when Marcus thought he was piecing everything together, a knock at his door sent a chill down his spine. It wasn't a friend or neighbor. It was two officers from the same precinct, claiming they wanted to talk. Their tone was casual, but their questions weren't. They hinted that Marcus was stirring up unnecessary trouble and suggested it might be best if he dropped his inquiries. But the encounter only fueled Marcus's resolve. It wasn't just about Lily anymore. This was bigger. As he reviewed the details he'd gathered, something stood out. A name kept appearing in old reports and community stories. A high-ranking officer who seemed to have a hand in keeping things quiet. This wasn't just about one rogue cop. It was part of a much larger cover-up. And then, without warning, another piece of evidence emerged, something that would blow the case wide open. Just as the community was rallying behind the boy and the investigation seemed to corner the officer, a shocking twist threw everything into chaos. Another witness came forward, a retired police captain who had been in the area that day. He revealed he had seen the officer's actions firsthand, but stayed quiet initially out of fear of retaliation. Now, with the video circulating and the pressure mounting, he decided to speak up. His testimony wasn't just an account of what happened. It exposed a larger problem within the department. The captain shared stories of a culture that allowed misconduct to thrive, a system that protected its own instead of seeking justice. This revelation sent shockwaves through the community, turning the focus from just one officer's actions to a broken system that allowed it to happen. As more voices joined the outcry, the officer's confidence crumbled further. But with his back against the wall, he made a desperate move, one that no one could have predicted. The officer, desperate to save himself, tried to discredit the video and the witnesses, claiming the footage was misleading and the accusations were false. But his efforts only deepened the public's distrust. The retired captain, armed with years of credibility, stood firm in his account, and additional witnesses began to come forward. Each new voice added weight to the case, making it clear this wasn't an isolated incident, it was a pattern. As the investigation reached its peak, an internal audit uncovered a hidden file, a record of complaints against the officer, suppressed for years. It was undeniable evidence of systemic failure, and the department was forced to act. The officer was arrested and charged, but the real shock came when he confessed, not out of remorse, but to cut a deal. His confession exposed others in the department who had turned a blind eye or participated in similar acts. The boy, once seen as a victim, stood tall as a symbol of change. His bravery and the courage of those who spoke up sparked a sweeping reform in the community. And as the officer faced justice, karma had the final say, leaving everyone to reflect on the power of truth and accountability. In the aftermath, the boy and his family found strength in their community's support. Though the scars of that day would take time to heal, they took comfort in knowing their courage had made a difference. The reforms sparked by the incident brought accountability to the department, ensuring that such abuses would no longer be swept under the rug. Officers were retrained, leadership changed, and a system once plagued by silence began to embrace transparency. The retired captain, once hesitant to speak, became a mentor to young activists, using his voice to guide the fight for justice. As for the officer, he faced the consequences of his actions, a stark reminder that no one is above the law. This story isn't just about justice being served, it's a testament to the power of standing up for what's right. Even in the face of cruelty, hope and courage can create lasting change.